I have to hand it to Jeff, the station's Energizer bunny. Every time I decide to come to work early or leave late, Jeff is there, one of the constants for me in this chaotic, COVID-crazed world. Both he and Ron have helped shape Idaho Public Television in some impressive and profound ways. You know, it wasn't that long ago that someone once wrote, "There are really only three things on public TV: two insects making love, a lion walking around with a gazelle in its mouth, and an elegant British man in a mahogany-lined room." Oh, and someone saying, "If you want those three, send money now." Well, we have certainly come a long way. And so is Outdoor Idaho. We tell Idaho stories, and last month we started our 38th season. We also know that our shows play an important role during this pandemic. We've been told this in person and on our Outdoor Idaho social media page with its 108,000 Facebook friends and followers. They use words like lifesaver, comfort food for the soul. One wrote, "It brings peace to my heart, especially during these turbulent times." Someone else wrote, "It puts a different perspective on 2020. As Jeff commented, doing a statewide show during a pandemic is not easy, and it's caused us to get a bit creative in our approach. For example, my colleague Lauren Malink, the newest member of the crew, decided for her first project to tackle a program on urban wildlife. Pretty clever. It certainly kept the interviews to a minimum.
Oh, it's in our house! Oh, there's a duck in our house! Ah! There's a duck in our house! Reichert, there's a duck in our house! Get the duck out! Deacon, open the door! Ah! Open the door! Deacon, open the door!
My colleague Forrest Berger, who last year won an Emmy with a show called Living with Wildfire, recently decided to explore barns. He knew the show would require traveling to all corners of the state for days at a time, and with COVID, he was prepared to produce and shoot and edit the show pretty much by himself. But hey, no need for masks around these structures, except when you interview the people who absolutely love these historic landmarks.
Don't you think a barn is kind of a throwback to another era?
Oh my goodness, a barn is iconic. It just draws stories out of people.
And when you sit down with somebody, you get what's in their heart.
The saying is, the barn builds the house.
That was very much the center of the farm.
It's almost like you're losing your family history when your barn goes.
To me, the valuable thing about these shows is they help us realize what we Idahoans have in common. And that's one thing that Outdoor Idaho, that Idaho Public Television has done pretty well over the years, to try to unite us as a state. And that's no easy task. But I'm not sure who or what else is really equipped to do that. But now, if you don't mind, let's get beyond the year 2020, please, and show you some things still in the conceptual stage. For next March, we're planning a show definitely created for the COVID era. Off the Beaten Path is about out-of-the-way places from all over the state, with not a lot of people, and a chance to provide some peace and comfort to a hurting world. It's taken 38 years, but we finally decided to devote time to a classic Idaho tradition. In late September, we traveled to eastern Idaho, to just outside of Sugar City, where we spent 2 days capturing the craziness of the potato harvest. I brought my little handheld camera along, and volunteer extraordinaire Peter Morrill edited this short clip just for this event. By the way, we're calling the show Spud Country.
We're right in the middle of potato harvest. It's about a 3-week potato harvest here in Newdale, Idaho. I just think it's fun just to see if you can put in a 16-hour day. I think that's impressive. The dirtier they get and in there working, I think they love that. The more they can work, the harder they can work, the better they feel. They really do. I love everything. I love the smell of the dirt. I love driving the truck. I love being with the people. I just love everything about it. Wow, this is where it's at. This is where good people are. This is where life is.
I want to leave you with something no one has yet seen. You really are the first. Bill Manny and Jay Krajek are still working on it in the Edit Bay. I have a hunch you already know Idaho represents something most states can't claim, a wild, exuberant heart that can still kick your backside, as Lewis and Clark discovered more than 200 years ago. In fact, if you haven't used the word wild or wilderness or freedom in your analysis of this state, you've only scratched the surface of what Idaho is all about. And that's what I like about our December 6th show, Idaho's Twelvers. It reminds us all just how wild and free this state still is. Here's a short clip. Enjoy. 123. That's how many Idaho mountains reach 11,000 feet or higher. 9 of those peaks rise above 12,000 feet. These granddaddies are known as Idaho's Twelvers, and they exert a powerful pull on the imagination.
We thought, oh, we'll climb 1, maybe 2, but the boys kept wanting to go, so we were able to climb all of them.
That way. She made her mind up she was going to do it. And here we are, the 9th summit. Yes.
The Twelvers draw natives and newcomers, old and young, and the young at heart. Some find in these mountains the ultimate test of physical or mental endurance, and some must face their fears.
I just got pretty spooked at just the exposure and the wind and my fatigue level. And I just thought, you know, I'm not having fun anymore.
Perfect. So if they are a refugee who has no experience with mountain stuff, they can go to other mountains, but not this one, man.
Others go up these mountains for the thrill of racing or skiing, or believe it or not, flying down.
A speedwing is basically your own personal roller coaster. You're high in the air and your adrenaline's going, and it just seems so unreal that you're flying your body through the air. It just doesn't seem like you should be able to do it.
Idaho's highest peaks also inspire artists, with Twelver t-shirts and towels, patches and paintings, even mountain music.
Listening to the songs of the birds or the wind, or thinking of the shape of things and how that could be portrayed musically, it's always kind of going in the back of my mind.
211 people are known to have climbed the 9 Twelvers.
You know, that's a fairly short list of people who've accomplished that, and I decided I wanted to be one of those people.
Windy.
Expert or novice, each climber still has to put one foot in front of the other. Hour after hour, mile after mile, mountain after mountain.
I want to get up there. I want to see if I can do it. I want to test myself against the mountain. So I think that's probably the number one motivation is the challenge.
Being in the very highest places in Idaho gives climbers an unparalleled perspective on life in this wild, wondrous, elevated state we call home.
You feel like you're literally on top of the world, on top of a mountain.
Okay, here's the summit.
It's really spiritual and powerful. Yeah, I feel very alive when I do it. And I think that's probably the common thread with everybody that does this.
Yeah, come.